Okay. So, we are back. I just realized that in the VOD, the red Twitter tag for Axerinder will be showing up until this point because I forgot to hit record. But now we're recording, but the first part's gonna be like a straight Twitch rip that I'm going to edit a small bit just so it's not all jumbly and get rid of the extra bit at the start. And then I'll splice this in at the right time. Anyways, let us continue and figure out Dawn, Lewis, Sanjay, so Eddie, Dawn, Lewis, maybe Edith, I don't know about her. I don't know too much about the leaves, so Sanjay, Sven, and Kay. We will find out. So yes, this is... Okay, so this right here, I swear this right here is in the unfinished Swan. Speaking of... Oh, God. Oh, speaking of, I will be finishing the unfinished one. If I finish this off really quickly, I might actually swap over to it. Oh my god, that is the unfinished one. That right there. That right there. Definitely the unfinished one. Especially... Oh my... Oh! That symbol right there is also in that game. Okay, so for people who don't know, the same devs made this game as Unfinished 1. Unfinished 1 came out, I'm thinking, September 4th or 10th, 2020. And it's currently like the 27th of September. So this right here is before that, but they've incorporated this into the Unfinished 1. So I'm thinking Milton might actually be the king of that place, and he's actually alive. Oh. Well, I'm guessing it's time to go back down.
Mom spent months searching for my brother. Then she sealed the doors.
He's in a painting with no, okay, slight spoilers to like the first hour of the Unfinished 1 of my playthrough. Wait, no, let me in, You can literally see how he, wait, what? He walked up this. But where'd the paint come from? Where'd it come from? He's in there. Oh. Ooh. If I twist that sideways, that also looks like part of the landscape. Wait, that is the fuck. Okay, so this right here is actually the very start of the thing. So you get like a little bit starting area over this way, and then you slowly, and it has this kind of background as well, and then you get the bamboo that's up right there.
I think Edie was happy to finally have another painter in the family.
It's the frog! More spoilers still. Yeah. So this frog jumps into the water and dies. It gets eaten by a sea monster. And this right here, this painting right here, is that spot right there. Like those ramps right there. This right here is like, there's like a little bit of area over this way. That ship's not in relation to this one at all. That actually might be later on. I think I did see another model like this in the actual game. Yeah, that right there is the bamboo area. Right there. But yeah, there should be like little bitty gates or whatnot. You can't really see them. But yeah, you go through all that. And right there, that broken wall, it's not broken yet. And you have to launch your paint at it to open it up. But the cool thing is, I've never actually seen it like this before, because this level is, what would you call? It's completely white, and you have to use ink splashes to open it up. So you got that. Got that. Yeah, that and that's the same picture. Huh. And you get this painting again and that one. Yeah. I think I understand where the unfinished one came
Whatever
from.
Milton had found in the house, Mom didn't want it getting out.
Oh, now I walk up. Okay. Oh, and no more spoilers
Mom
for the unfinished
definitely
one.
blamed Edie, but I think Lewis blamed himself. After he graduated, he just spent more and more time in his room. Until Mom got him a job at the cannery.
Lewis.
Everyone always told me to stay out of Lewis's room.
Well, he's
Except
a drug.
Lewis.
A druggie. Ooh, there's a key on. Oh, no, that's a bottle opener or a can opener. And yeah, I think there's a hookahs. Then you've got lots of weed, fair enough. Oh, I can't speak. A lot of marijuana juice. So that's how I get in. There's nothing up there. Yo, I must admit though. Hey, I think about. For some reason, I feel like we're gonna get to the top, fall off, and die. It's a yacht. Wait, they had to get.
Lewis's room smelled very, very familiar. That part of him lived on.
Yeah, what kind of controller is that? Wonderland Turbo.
Lewis and I spent a lot of time
don't
playing games together,
know what
but
that's
he was
a copy of.
surprisingly bad at them. He died a lot.
Yo, he got his high school diploma. Pog, he finished high school. You know, kids, or anyone else that's actually out there, never knock your high school diploma. It shows that you were able to go through with something without too much difficulty. I mean, if you got yourself a clone who's done everything the exact same, the only difference is he got a GED and you got a diploma, there's a good likelihood that the one with the high school diploma is going to get it first. The Red King's Dream. Oh. ashtray, some pill bottles, some of that. A gamer headset. A gamer mouse. A gaming keyboard. I don't like the pseudo 3D keys. It's like the keys are 3D, but in between the keys are not. Weird. But it's not bad at all. Oh, to your mother. Oh my.
Dear Mrs. Finch, as Lewis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse. Newly sober, I believe Lewis first noticed the monotony of his daily life.
Oh.
He kept working at the cannery, but he withdrew part of himself.
It's
In our sessions, I saw the same behavior.
Handsome.
His mind began to...
Wait a second. Do I put my hand in me?
wander.
Oh. Oh.
I asked him to describe it. He said he started small, imagining a labyrinth. He'd feel his way about. Then something moved. Bats. And toads. And things that have not names. He knew it was all in his head. He took it very seriously. I had hoped he'd find himself.
Oh.
But he found something more. I worried about him then. Daydreaming at the cannery.
Oh, no, I'm about to put my hand off, aren't I?
I spoke with his boss. But he said Lewis had become a model employee. Methodical, tireless, focused. Like a whole new Lewis. So I let him go on.
Does this one end up as a can?
I even
Oh
encouraged.
no, it's taking more of my vision.
It seemed very promising at first. He told me he'd made a new friend. On the edge of a city he named Lewis Topia. He built the city up slowly, brick by brick. Then he made musicians. And songs for them to play. He talked about starting a band. And he was always humming something. Every day his imagination grew stronger. He no longer spoke at the cannery. But his chopping was as reliable as ever. Then one day it struck him that all the cheering crowds, even the stones under his feet, were all in his imagination. So he could do whatever he wished. He held an election for mayor. And he won. They begged him to stay, but his mind was already wandering. It became a game for him. He'd conquer a city, then immediately push on. New Louisville.
Is it gonna be near Louisville?
St. Louis.
Oh, St. Louis.
He started drifting away from our reality.
Man, it's taking up even more of the real world's feel.
Minneapolis. Until one day he forgot to go home from the cannery. Even as his mother pleaded with him, part of Louis kept sailing on.
Oh. No. Don't. No, I know. He died after. She died. Or no, before she died. I was worried that he was about to put her in the thing.
In Louisburg, he heard rumors of a handsome queen.
Oh, that's trippy.
The queen was on her own quest for radiant rainbows. He followed the sound of her
Sitar.
electric sitar. His chase led him to a golden palace east of the sun and west of the moon. Even then, his logic remained sound.
Wait a second, I can't. All I see is fish.
He knew the world was all in his imagination.
I know there shouldn't be 3 fish. Oh no. I like how this.
But he was so proud of having created it. In his own eyes, he'd become something greater than a king.
Or a bird. A lover. A hater.
For someone who'd
Player?
never known success in the real world, I think it
A
was
simp.
overwhelming. And then it struck him that the real Louis was not the one chopping salmon, but the one climbing the steps of a golden palace.
It's more of a beige / peach.
My imagination is as real as my body, he told me. It was hard to argue with him.
Oh. Now it's a... Wait. Oh no, we're in the cannery now. But, oh. Oh, time to use. It was like a switch before they had switches.
I began to forget the world we know.
It's almost like a 2DS. A wide-ass Game Boy. I'm just scared about what he's
I
going
think
to
it
do.
pained him to remember Lewis, the cannery worker. He began to despise the man with a royal contempt.
Now, is he actually seeing himself in the third person? That's what's going to scare me. Or am I about to chop myself up? Nothing that way. Nothing that way.
I still thought I could save him. Even after he said he was being crowned king over all the lands of wonder. The palace would be packed with his companions.
Is he like in the real world going down the conveyor belt? And he's about to become Can? Legs.
Including the wise Calico who'd insisted on inviting him. His queen waited, holding his crown. There was only one thing left to do. Bend down his head. And the rest I think you know. Mrs. Finch, your son was a kind man who will be missed by all of us who knew him.
My brother was really cool. I wish you could have met him.
So he either A, cut off his own head in that one thing, or he became Can. Okay. Anything else in here that I can recognize? Oh, yeah.
He was so proud of being Indian. I think for him, it was a way to be something other than just a Finch. On the way back from Lewis's funeral, my mom told me to start packing. She waited until the day before we left to tell Edie. I'm not sure if she wanted to make it easier or harder. I wish we'd stayed.
But whose room was this? Was this my room? I think this is my room.
But I understand why we left.
Yo. Yeah, bubble pop. So satisfying. Edith, Mom. Yikes, you left it open. Is that beans? Candy, pat. Whatever. Dawn Finch. This is Dawn's room.
My mom ended up leaving everything behind.
Well, she failed at packing and broke some pictures. Yo, that's a pretty lit view. Teach and learn. Dawn Finch. 7 ways to create a fulfilling classroom. Oh god, you're closer. Get courage done. Okay. Disaster relief. Oh, up. Right? Yeah.
What happened that night had been coming for a long time. Maybe I should have come sooner.
Oh, here's Edith's room. Oh, it's a ladder.
But it had to end one way or another. All that's left now is to tell you about that last night.
Wait, am I crawling or am I just short? I don't know. I think I am just crawling. I'm worried something bad's about to happen. Oh, I thought that was a knife for a sec.
That whole last day, Edie just watched us pack and didn't say a word. Until supper, when she raised her glass and said,
"To our final night together, and all our final nights apart."
Grandma, you know what I said about alcohol. Some of your medications are very
Edith,
specific.
I left a present for you in the hallway. Why don't you go open it? The grown-ups have to argue now.
I'm sorry, you're right. We're all leaving tomorrow. Let's just enjoy our last...
I'm not leaving.
Edith, you're excused.
the power had been shut off that morning, but Edie always had plenty of candles. When my mom sealed the library, I don't think she knew about the other entrance, or that Edie had a key to it.
That thing you're afraid of isn't going to end when you leave the house. Edith has a right to know these stories.
My children are dead because of your stories. I think it's best if Edith and I leave tonight. We'll have the nursing home send a van for you in the morning, okay?
Dear Edith, there's so many stories I wish I could tell you, but there's only time for one. This is about what happened on the night you were born. That night, the tide went way, way out. It was the first and last time I ever saw the old house aground. There'd been an earthquake out in the middle of the ocean. They called it the lowest tide in 1,000 years. God, it smelled awful. You know, I've seen that house every day of my life. never thought I'd go back to it. When the fog rolled in,
Odd texture.
I lost my way.
That's okay, we just follow it around and make sure it doesn't shift. And there we go. Too thick to see the ground.
I got turned around.
Oh.
I started seeing things. Things I'd forgotten had ever existed. But when I saw them, they felt like old friends. That night, a lot of things came back to me. Or maybe I came back to them. Things I can't explain, but that I need you to try and...
Edith, what are you doing in here?
It's mine.
Edith!
Mom, you're gonna rip it. Let go. I kicked and screamed, but Mom dragged me to the car. I never saw Great Grandma Edie again.
She's okay.
The next morning, the van came to pick her up, but she was already gone.
Oh.
After that, we moved around a lot. We both tried to make the best of it.
So relatable. I did this.
A few years went by. My mom didn't like to talk about it. But she started getting sick a lot. The rest happened pretty quickly. She got better for a while, and then she didn't. And then I was alone.
Poor Edith.
The last Finch left alive. Until I found out about you. I'm still not sure what to tell you about all this. If we lived forever, maybe we'd have time to understand things. But as it is, I think the best we can do is try to open our eyes.
I think
And appreciate how strange and brief all of this is. This journal was supposed to be for you. But now I hope you'll never see it. I just want to meet you and tell you all these stories myself. But I guess if you're reading this now, things didn't work out that way.
Probably died giving birth or something.
This is where your story begins. I'm sorry I won't be there to see it. It's a lot to ask, but I don't want you to be sad that I'm gone. I want you to be amazed that any of us ever had a chance to be here at all. Good luck.
Oh. Well, credits time. They did a great job with this. She died in 2017. Her mother died in 2016. So she went 1 year without her mother before she died. So I had a child. And the child will soon die, probably. That's so sad. So unfortunate. But at least they get to stop the tradition of building another room on top of the house every time someone is born. Honestly, it's a little odd that they never, or they always kept the rooms. But I can say that I am glad that I saw this. And I'm also glad that I was able to snag it on PlayStation. I also like how they have all the credits are basically pictures of the devs in their childhood. Oh, masks for Molly. Huh. Amatura Interactive. Annapurna. Annapurna Interactive. Great. I'm going to sit here until these credits finish because I always like to give credit where credit is due. Oh, the playtesters, okay. Wow, that's a lot of playtesting done. Oh, there's a music box. I never got to go in the library as Big Edith. Oh, the end. The end. The replay story now is now available. Select Edith to play from the beginning. Oh. Okay, so their stories intertwine. Milton's doesn't. Lewis doesn't. Edith, no. Gus, Gregory, Walter, Calvin, Barbara, Molly. It's basically just saying you have to do both. Okay, so what these things were for is who they married. So it was Finn and Evie, Sanjay and Dawn. fill that in with 2017. What was it? Salmon K? I'm thinking that's it. Really want to be 33. Oh yeah, yeah. He is her mother. Oh, no, he is Dawn's father. And he died in a hunting accident. At the age of 33. Okay. Yeah. Well. That is it. That is all that remains of Edith Finch. That was a good story. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoy what I'm doing here. And thank you for watching this.